I regularly read the news. I feel it's an important thing to do, to be an informed member of society. Access to information is a really important part of democracy and free societies. Well, all that's real good. Too much of the news I read is real bad. Seems everywhere I look, there's great big problems with no easy solutions. Politics, the environment, society, everywhere stuff seems to just be coming off the hinges. It's completely overwhelming. Whether it's the giant garbage patch in the ocean, the warming climate, aggressive nations making unnecessary wars, or bitter divisions among my neighbors over silly political views, it just seems there are far more problems anymore than solutions to be found. It's deeply depressing. What's a good old soul to do? I mean well by the world and by my neighbors. I really work hard to hold myself to standards of decency and to bring good to the challenge of human being. I'm seeking to fight the good fight and run the good race as Scripture encourages us. But holy Joseph, the fight's not getting any easier, and the headwind only grows stronger in that race. There's a lot of days I'm so winded that I'm about to fall over from its unrelenting gusts. Looking at the big picture is completely demoralizing, and I'm left wondering what a good, well-meaning person is supposed to do. Seems my good intentions and good acts are just a meaningless run on a squeaky hamster wheel in the face of the big picture and all of its unplumbable depths of trouble. At the end of the day, sitting exhaustedly in my well-worn Naga hide easy chair, I start to wonder, what's it all for? What's the use? Maybe those bitter, angry, nasty people I dealt with all day on the job, on the road, and at the grocery store have it right. The weight of all this heavy big picture is enough to crush one's soul. The pressure and darkness makes people bitter. It's a slippery slope, and sometimes I'm just so tired by all of it that I'm tempted to jump and take that slip and slide of disillusionment to its hard terminus of cold comfort and cynicism. Certainly this plunge appears easier than the Sisyphean effort of keeping the faith and running the good race, of continuing to fight the good fight. However, none of these bitter people I meet seem to find any relief through their slide into the negative. They may feel vindicated in their cynicism, but they're just as miserable and angry as before. If anything, their anger and disillusionment with the world seems only to grow, to replicate and spread like a cancer, within themselves and to others. Remember that misery loves company. I sit at the end of the day ruminating on all of this, exhausted by the good fight and winded from the good race and by the vexing question of what's it all for in the view of the big picture. Sitting with these sobering shadows, a thought occurs. Maybe if we're looking to move mountains and finding ourselves overwhelmed with discouragement, we need to look at the sand. Every grain was part of a mountain of stone at one point long ago. So too, a single drop of rain is the true origin of the oceans that stretch far beyond the line of our sight, off to the far corners of the earth. Perhaps just focusing on the big picture is an act of missing the forest for the trees. Just as the stone of the mountains is effectively made of innumerable grains of sand, the ocean's countless drops of rain, and the forest an infinity of individual trees. Perhaps my tiny actions in good faith on the hamster wheel of my little life has more effect than its tiny squeaking rotations might suggest. I am inclined to believe, in spite of the ominous hue of the great and overwhelming big picture, that small acts matter. Perhaps the simple acts of kindness, gentleness, and compassion go far further than we know. Well, certainly it's the big bad news that gets all the attention. I believe it's the small, consistent good works that comprise the stone pillars that support the structure of a functioning society. How much more lasting power does a sincere smile have over a scowl? It is important to consider the impact of the energy we carry with us into the greater world around us. And like those grains of sand fused by time, heat, and pressure into mountains, or those gentle drops of rain into vast, deep, and beautiful oceans that connect the globe, so too our small acts of kindness, and their persistence and earnest effort, amount to something far greater collectively than what any of us in the practice will ever know. Mother Teresa, a saint in our own time, renowned for her compassion and kindness, is quoted as saying, "Do no great things. Do only small things with great love." We are tasked to be of comfort and encouragement to one another in these days that we have on earth, and through our small acts of goodness, delivered with earnest love and good intent, collectively, we make this world a better place for one another and the collective whole. I have come to believe we improve the big picture one small act at a time, that in these small ways, one good act upon another, we build to make the world a better, stronger place through the collective aggregate of all these grains of goodness. Think small. It might make a world of difference.